Hi guys, I'm back here this time. I'm trying to fit everybody in this camera. So today I'm sitting with these handsome 5 gentlemen from Inevitable Revolutions. That's kind of a mouthful. So I'm going to kick this right off. Why don't you guys all introduce yourselves and tell us what kind of instrument you play.
I'm Chad and I play drums.
I'm Corey and I play bass.
I'm Mike, I play guitar.
Brett.
Vocals.
Tyler. Guitar.
Cool. So why don't you guys tell me how you guys formed?
Well, I actually kind of, not really auditioned for the band, but I heard that these guys were getting something together. They had something together previously before with a band called Tectonic Plates, and that kind of didn't work out in the end, and they were looking to start something up. I knew a guy, actually worked at this place called Flint Energy at the time. Knew a guy that worked with me, knew these guys, me and Chad and Tyler, sent them some YouTube videos, ended up getting back with me, and that's kind of how I got hooked up with these guys.
Yeah.
And then I believe Mike came in maybe a couple months later. It was just us fiddling around for a couple months, us three, kind of getting some stuff down. Mike came into the fold, and then I believe a month or two after that, Corey came into the fold, and we've been together ever since. It's been about going on 2 years now.
So why don't you guys tell everybody a little bit about the style of music that you guys are creating?
I would say kind of like some metalcore with a little bit of deathcore influence, a lot of I don't know. I kind of do our own thing, really. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you can hear some influences from some bands, but kind of try to do our own thing for the most part. Try to keep it heavy, but afraid to tune it down a little bit if we got to. A lot of mixes, a lot of different kind of stuff.
What
So-
do you consider your basses are like straight metal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight up metal.
Just metal.
Absolutely.
That way
I don't
it's
like, me personally, I don't like all this metalcore, grindcore,
Yeah.
death metal shit. It's all, yeah, it's all fucking metal. It's all metal to me, you know? And anything that's not metal is considered just rock to me. But
Right.
that's just me. So, now, when you guys go out on stage and start playing, being so you guys are all original, there's no covers involved, do you guys ever get nervous on how people might take some of your originals, or do you really look forward to people really getting in and throwing down?
I don't personally get nervous per se. I don't know, man. It's for me, it's just a release. So going out and playing, it's just you go out and play, and you play what you want to play, and you hope that the people out there take it in. Yeah. I don't say I get nervous. I get excited.
Adrenaline flows.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So, do you guys have any shows coming up?
November 19th at the Bistro 223 in Elmira, New York. The next Saturday. Come check us out. Playing some great bands. Rabid Panda will be doing their CD release show for that. I think Consumed with Hatred, Boom Squad, and I believe Billy Atkins 1056 will be there. We're really looking forward to it, man. Stop on out. Go down. Let's have a good time.
So, yeah, you guys be sure to go check them out if you're local. I know this is going on YouTube. Hell, if you're from fucking India and you can make it to Elmira, New York, come on out and check these guys out. So, why don't you guys go around, starting with you, Chad. Tell us a little bit about the instrument you play, like what brand you prefer, cymbals, and whatnot.
I play drums. I used to play Tama, and I still love Tama, but I bought a Crush kit from you. I like it a lot, man. I'd like to say, you know, after I decide to upgrade, I'd like to go with another Crush kit, but they're pumped right now, so hoping they come back. But if not, I'll probably kick back to Tama. I'm cool with either one, but I really like the way the Crush sounds. It's got a lot of fun to it.
Hell yeah, it does.
A lot of punch.
That snare was the best snare I've ever owned.
Yeah, and I don't use the snare actually. That's good you said that. I use a Mapex Black Panther blaster.
Oh, you can't go wrong with those either.
Yeah, so I bought the set from you, and just the snare fits a perfect color scheme wise.
There you go.
For cymbals, I use Sabian. I just, you know, I know there's a lot of good cymbal companies out there. I use Sabian just because they give the warranty. You get 2 years with them, and you can beat on and break them as much as you possibly can, and just keep getting new ones in return. And they're really affordable. So I just feel like Zildjian, they're great cymbals, but there's no median line of cymbals. It's either like
real
bottom of
cheap
the
or real
barrel,
expensive.
or it's
Yeah.
super pricey.
Yeah.
Sticks I use Vic Firth, the Matt Greener style. He's my favorite drummer. And my kicks are Tama.
Cool. Can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, Tama.
So Corey, what about you?
Well, I prefer Ibanez basses. For heads, I would go anything from Harkey, but I use PD. And then for my cabs, I run a Vader 4x12 and a Banger 4x12.
Next.
Go ahead, Bob.
Sure, I'll go. I'm pretty much stick to ESP guitars. Running ET 500 right now. I really like that guitar. Right now my live rig is Bulgara setup, 6260. Just pretty basic setup. I'm really just trying to get the heavy chunk. Mike's more the effect guy. So I run like Sonic Maximizer and Noise Gate and tuner right now. That's about it. That's the rig.
Cool.
Get that good chunk.
Oh yeah. After all those breakdowns, you got to be nice and meaty. Nice and meaty. So go ahead, Fred.
I'm a vocalist, so I don't really have a lot of gear. So I do have a Sennheiser microphone that I do prefer over an SM58. I think Sennheiser's the best company on it now.
At the moment, from a Epiphone SG Prophecy, it was a linear model, but that's 81.5 EMPs and garage EMPs. These guys, personally, guitar-wise, I went from playing a Fender Strat. But, you know, when you gotta get metal, you gotta get metal. So that's why I run that. And I run that with an orange CR120 on the Phantom Power flip switch with that to get the reverb. That's going through a Sonic Maximizer, a Noise Gate, tuner, and I also use what is that thing called? Boosta Grande. It's a clean boost. It's excellent at lifting your soul out or going assistant.
Nice. Large, folks. Did you hear that?
Large. Huge.
So, when you guys were younger, you know what? Why don't I stop there before I go into personal stuff? Let me ask you one more thing about Inevitable Revolutions. When you guys are writing songs, how do you write them? Do you pick up a guitar riff, start writing a guitar riff at home and bring it to the band? Do you all write as a band lyrically? How do you write lyrics? Life experiences, or just shit that you think of?
Our writing style, the way we write, I should say, is, everyone has input. Everybody has input. We bring, riffs to the table, like you were saying. Basically it starts out with a guitar riff. Sometimes Fred may have some lyrics written out and ready for certain things. Sometimes the lyrics just come fresh with the song, which is normally the case. Ty brings a lot of riffs, man. Mike throws a lot of stuff behind Ty's riffs. I guess you could consider that's one of the ways we write. We do this cool thing, man, where we all, before every practice, everyone has to bring a song to practice. And before they play that song, they explain why they like it, whether it's the way bands transition from one piece to another, or just the way the song is laid out in general, or the style that they're playing. Maybe somebody wants to mix a little bit of this into that. We do that, and I think that helps a lot, man. We do that twice a week, you know what I mean? So we can kind of get a feel for what everyone's feeling like. That way, you can kind of throw elements in to your songs that you're writing that everyone is down.
Cool.
So I would say that's
it definitely it usually just starts with a riff. Usually like a singular riff, whether it be me, Corey, or Mike. And then from there we always try to write as a group, pretty much organically, just right out there in that jam room, man. Just try to, everybody just, once we know what we're playing, everybody just, keep working on it throughout the week and bring stuff to the next practice, and we decide what we like and keep moving forward with the song. And we try to make it as organic as we can amongst, you know, 5 of us being in the room together and trying to just sit down and really come up with the best thing that we can. And we started doing the song thing just so we understand like where the other guy's coming from, like when we're sitting out there writing. If he showed us this song, we know he's into this, so he's trying to bring some of that into play. And I really think it works good, man. I'm happy with the stuff that we wrote and really proud of it.
I've heard it. These guys actually played this past August at mine and my business partner's Music for Munchkins Festival, which next year I'm actually going to be editing a video with all that. We do plan on having you guys back. We're cutting the bands down instead of 12 because it went on till past 2 in the morning, and we started at 10:30 a.m. and well, at least we were there at 10:30, and it went on, and it was just crazy. So we're cutting the bands in half. We're having 3 covers, 3 originals. I think we'll have you guys back, Saforcer, and I want to give my brother's band, The Good Left Undone, another chance because they had just kind of gotten together, and they had more. I think they had more cover tunes to fill up time than the original shit. And most of you guys, and you guys already know that they've got talent in their head. It's just they have to get it out. So
Saforcer's great, honestly.
yeah, Saforcer is.
A bad band that day.
It was a fun day. It was a tiring day.
Japanese drum
Totally.
skater, great
Yeah.
band.
Totally worth it. Though.
Yeah, it was.
Great cause.
It was a lot of fun. We did raise $2,200. I don't know if you guys seen that. So.
We did. That was
But yeah, that was pretty cool. Next year, it's not going to be so in depth. It's going to be, we're going to get some kegs, 3 kegs like we'd had this past year. We're going to charge $10 to get in, and people are just going to check out the bands. That's it. Because dealing with the charities, they get too involved with this stuff. Like this past year, they thought we were selling alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do that. Obviously we had to make sure that there was no underagers drinking and blah blah blah. But back to the important stuff. Fred, why don't you tell us how you write lyrics?
We've all written our fair share of songs lyrically in this band. I know Tyler's written some, Chad's written some, I've written some. I know me and Chad try to collaborate when we're writing as much as we possibly can. I like having Chad in on the writing. I try to write from personal experiences. I feel like people get home with that maybe a little bit more.
They can relate to them.
Yeah, they can
Absolutely.
relate to it more. I like to throw different kind of metaphors in there sometimes, so maybe you can interpret it one way.
Mhm.
It leaves the door open for interpretation, maybe to interpret it any way that you would like. You know what I mean? You can hit a bunch of different areas with that lyrically. But yeah, I pretty much just try to write from life experiences because I mean that's what you know the most about. You know, I have a good time writing that. I love writing.
It's well, like Chad
It's
said,
a pain in the ass.
it is a
but
pain in the ass, but it's a total release.
It's
It really is.
very monotonous.
Some people don't know how to get it out in a positive way, and this is an extremely, I think, in my opinion, this is the most positive way to get.
I try to write as positive as I
So,
possibly can.
absolutely.
I
mean,
I don't beat off that.
for you people that watch, metal is not all about killing people, and I mean, rap is worse than that because half the time they're singing about bitches and money, and
Yeah.
so and metal is just a positive way to get shit out. So
Positive though.
yeah, so they're positive thugs. So I have yet to see a metal band wear bling and all kinds of swag on stage though. So, but but all right, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go into some personal stuff. When did you guys, when you were younger, start playing an instrument?
I'll go. When I started playing an instrument, holy cow. I was like probably 13 and I used to hang around this really awesome band I thought was going to make it so far. You know, there was this local band called Containment and there was another one called See You Annie. And I always watched them guys, man, and just like awed over them. Like, man, I that's what I'm doing right there. That's what I want to do. And I had a close friend and his brother was in Containment and he played bass. So I actually started playing bass. Played in some bands and stuff, and I got in a band and the guy was struggling. We were trying to do kind of heavier music at the time. I was probably like 15 or 16, 15. And we had this guy in the band that he was a drummer, but he was more of like a classic rock drummer. He couldn't get like the doubles, foot thing figured out and stuff like that. And he was cool enough. He was a lot older than me and saw, that I had a lot of drive for music. And I sat down behind the kit and I said, try something like this. And I started playing. And he was like, you be the drummer. he's like, seriously, and he left his kit there until I got my own first drum set. And I've really just been playing drums since then, man. I did play in a band with Tyler a little before this band, bass, but I eventually moved to a drummer in that band also. Started getting my feet wet again, and I'm going back now.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're behind the kit because I thoroughly enjoy watching you play. You, like I said at the festival, watching you guys, I was like fucking blown away.
Oh,
you guys have it, and I'm telling you, if you get hooked up, and I don't say this to many people, but if you guys get hooked up with the right people, I can see you guys just fucking soaring. That's no joke. That's no joke. So, go ahead.
I'll go. As far as playing, I didn't really grow up like most kids. My dad, uncle were always into virtuoso guitar playing. So like even before kindergarten, we about like King Van Allenstein, Satriani, and I never gone or had a guitar in my entire life, whether it be like a Smith guitar, a 3/4 guitar, I've always had them. But about 8 years old, that's when I started like dabbing around with progressions, blues progressions, just because you want to change the family and fit in.
Totally. Yep.
And about 10 is when I started getting really serious into it. Pantera pulled me right in.
Next.
Pantera.
I think I got my first guitar. My mom bought me my first guitar because I wanted one, I think, when I was 13. But I probably had a couple years there where I kind of just slacked off and wasn't really, because I was always into music even at a young age and stuff. And I had cool parents, like I'll give my mom and them credit for that. Like I was listening to like Deftones and stuff like that. Like that's what I grew up on because that's what they listened to, So I didn't have to be riding in the car. I had what I feel is good music to listen to and good influences at a young age. But like I said, she got me my first guitar and a little Fender amp, practice amp when I was probably 13. I don't think I got real serious about it though until I was about 16. I think I slacked off a couple years there. And then I remember, actually a couple friends and people Sean Miller and
Oh yeah.
Matt Putnam,
Yep.
Dusty Putnam. They had a band going and I had a guitar, so they let me start jamming with them and what was I guess the original In Vain line.
Oh yeah, years ago. Years ago, yeah.
So I right up where we had the festival that he was talking about, that's where I had my first band practice going up there and I couldn't play, save myself, but them guys let me hang in there a little bit and I learned a couple of Godsmack songs and then from there I just, that's kind of like my thing is I guess I learned other musicians' songs and try to, what I take from there, what I like and just keep going. And I was on a roll and then I just
Next.
Well, I've been singing my whole life. Singing along to songs, the usual way. Mostly what got me into doing harsher vocals, I guess, would probably be when I first heard the Trivium Ascendancy album, I started to really like the heavier music. I mean, I always liked it before, like Soilwork and stuff like that, but I never really got serious into doing vocals until maybe 3 years ago, just messing around. Then I met up with these guys and got obviously a lot more serious about doing it. So, really listening to pretty much everything and anything. I don't listen to just metal, but mostly metal,
You have a wide variety.
Yeah,
We'll get into that after this little talk here. So go ahead, Corey. The favorite, save for last.
I've always owned an instrument of some sort. I started playing drums in 5th grade in school band. I quit that around the time I got a guitar. I joined my first punk band, which that was fun. After that, couple years of doing like cover band, play like Orgy for Monday or some weird stuff, Jogi, Cambria, and then I started our first metal band, which was 1,000 Plagues, with two people I went to school with, and eventually went out from there, and then that kind of stopped, so I kind of had to find a new outlet, and then I found my friends that I eventually joined to be Enslaved with Kill List, which was a death metal band that I was with for like 7 years. And then we had our last show about almost 3 years ago, and then I found these guys.
Through the KNF go.
So I can't answer.
No, it's through
Or was
Facebook.
it Facebook?
Yeah, it was
Or
Facebook.
is it Facebook group?
Yeah. I put post up, you liked it, and I was
2 years later.
Stalker.
2 years later.
Cool. Now, speaking of Facebook, these guys are on Facebook. Are you guys on any other social media besides Facebook?
Band page, Reverb Nation, Instagram.
So you guys heard it. Get on social media, like them, follow them, scream at them, tell them what you think, listen to their stuff. So now I'm gonna go into when you guys were growing up and you're old enough to know what music was and what you really liked. What were some of the stuff that really influenced you as growing up? As I know you said Deftones, so that's obviously, I've never been, people are gonna kill me for saying this, but I've never been a Deftones fan. You know, just like Chad, I know you're not a Metallica fan, and I fucking love Metallica. So it's just all a different taste. So why don't you guys go ahead and tell me a little bit, and these guys a little bit about, you know, what you guys were listening to growing up that kind of influenced you to play.
I didn't really start listening to music, you know, like, you know, everyone hears music on the radio growing up in the car with their parents. I didn't really start listening to music hard until I was like probably around 12 or so, and it started with stuff like The Offspring and stuff like that, you know, and then eventually, you know, graduated to stuff like the Deftones and Korn. But I would say what got me, you know, into what I like doing now was easily the first time I heard Slipknot. You know, I don't listen to a ton of it now. Sometimes I actually just went back the other day and did listen to some old Slipknot, and I was like, yeah, okay, I remember why.
You
Now I
found your
remember why.
reason.
Yeah, and man, I just heard that and I was like, boy, talk about like really pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's what I want. Like, because I kind of, before that, was figuring out, like, I do kind of want to play music. I think that'd be cool, you know. That came from bands like Offspring and stuff like that. But when, you know, when Slipknot came out, that was like a whole different ballgame for metal. For me, being like 13 years old, I remember hitting play and just being like, whoa. You know, like blown right out of my shoes, man. So I'd have to give that credit to Slipknot, probably. And that graduated into, like, I started going back in time and getting into Slayer and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of bands back then that I really got into. I did always follow the Deftones, still do. Bands like American Head Charge, they kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. Actually, I think they have a song called Pushing the Envelope. But, man, yeah, I gotta give it to Slipknot because that's where the aggressive metal in me kind of started.
So sticking with you, Chad, what are the bands you're listening to today that you really enjoy?
My favorite band, which is really no secret to these guys at all.
Go ahead,
It's
Chad.
hands down, easily August Burns Red. I love what they do, man. I don't know, I love groove in my metal. That's really, to me, what metal is. But man, ABR puts it together like no metal band, in my opinion. But I listen to a lot of stuff. I like Phineas. I listen to the Black Dahlia, stuff like that. But August Burns Red, definitely my favorite.
I'll be sure to tag them in this video. So hopefully, and I put this up on my. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
These guys definitely make a good supporting act. So when you guys, hopefully, if you watch this video, set them up with something. But yeah, I'm gonna tag them. I throw this up on my Twitter page too, and I know when I tag people on Twitter, they either like it or they'll watch the video. So, next person.
I'd say my first influence Probably listening to Metallica's Black Album when I was young was one of them for sure. I guess my first love getting into metal was thrash metal. Metallica, Testament, Anthrax, that kind of stuff. I liked Bush a lot. I remember loving Bush at one point in my life pretty heavily.
Well, we all love Bush, just
Yeah.
the different kind.
Yeah, we love Gavin Ross, Davis Bush. Funny bits and whatnot too.
Don't tag them.
Said sorry. Yeah, Bush was definitely a big one. I used to listen to At the Gates at a very young age, I will say that. Carcass was in there. I was always into extreme music. I don't know why. It's just something that I've always been into. Slipknot was huge, for sure. I love Chevelle. I love rock music if it's good, you know. I like Green Day. You know, I'm all over the place with that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be heavy for me to like it. Fit for an Autopsy, that's probably my favorite heavy band that I like. But, yeah, I just love metal music.
So, and Fred's got a pretty awesome vocal cover of the piano version, I guess you could say, of The
Yeah.
Diary of Jane on his Facebook. So, you guys can go ahead and check that out too.
Yep, check that out. I did a cover of Breaking Benjamin. I love that band also. Like I said, I like rock. I like Caesar. I like Breaking Benjamin. I like that kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? I'm not.
So, it's more of the hard rock genre,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
metal.
Yeah, like I said, I can listen to Imagine Dragons. Like I like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff too. You know, I have no problem with that.
This
stuff.
dude has like 15,000 songs.
Yeah, I got like 15,000 songs on my phone. So there's always something. There's always
Nice.
something for me.
Hey, you know, I always tell people, you like what you like,
You like
whether
what
it be
you like,
rap or
yeah.
country or opera or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just all taste.
I mean, I love metal, but I love other different
Yeah,
music.
totally.
You
Yep.
know what I mean? I don't want to be in a box.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. I always tell my brothers that. And Brad and Chad, I know you're gonna watch. Open-mindedness. It's not all just metal. You got to be open-minded. So, next.
What I started listening to that got me into metal was kind of like where Chad's at, Slipknot, Marilyn Manson, Korn, that type of deal. Even POD, I don't know.
Yep,
I
I
liked
like-
Limp Bizkit back in when I was like 1999. Who didn't? We're all ashamed now. I mean,
Hey, you know, it does
Seven
make you.
Dust,
It does make you
great.
wonder what happened. But
I'm mature. That's kind of what got me there. As for now, I'm still like kind of stuck in a lot of stuff I liked from high school, like Black Dahlia Murder, AVR, what else is there? Dead to Fall is one of my huge favorites. Like Haste the Day, more stuff like that. It Dies Today, I brought them up today.
We've been told we sound like the guys today.
I don't think I've ever heard them.
And it's,
We
We take it
that's
as a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Guitar players debate here.
Like I gotta give my mom most of the credit because, like, one thing I can remember when I was younger is I went at the Toy Fair. They had a Sawyer Brown playing, like a country singer. If you guys don't remember, that's good. But I went to that with actually my grandparents, and then like I came home and told my mom that I thought that was cool and I liked it. And she's like, well, no. Here's what's good music, and that's when she first, like, the band that I can remember that, I remember her showing me, like, Pearl Jam and Live and, Nirvana and the big bands of that era, I guess. And then when she got with her husband, like, when they started going together, then he kind of came in and showed me more stuff like Deftones and Tool and just just those kind of bands. Even got into like a little bit heavier stuff, like you know, probably showed me the first Pantera CD and stuff like that. And from there, I was probably about like 10 or 11 by that time. Then I started kind of like progressing on my own stuff and stuff that I liked. And I think growing up when we did, I think, you know, Slipknot has to be mentioned. I don't see how they can be. I mean, I think everybody that I knew that was into metal back then had to be into Slipknot. But at that same time, Mudvayne was another one that
I miss Mudvayne.
I couldn't get enough of those guys, man. And Disturbed, even, you know, I was into Disturbed for a while during that era. Machine Head was really, they were one of the ones that really got me going. The Haunted, At the Gates, like Fred said, another good one. And I really just kind of, for me, just try to keep up with music, you know. I still like all those bands that I said. I like to watch how a band progresses, but with new stuff, you know, I really like Architect a lot, Era. There's a new band called Novelist. I'm not really that heard of right now, but I think those guys are just phenomenal. Meshuggah, I mean, that's bands that I just really like to get lost in and try to, you know, get influences from that stuff. But, and I like a lot of the stuff, you know, like sticking with like what my mom first told me, you know, like with Bush and all them bands, you know, and I still follow that type of stuff today, you know, like I think the new Alter Bridge is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Like I think, you know, stuff like that. So I mean, I guess I kind of stick to rock and metal as my main influences, but you know, if it meets the demand of the composer in those two genres, I'm probably gonna like it. Like I like a lot of it. You know, just got a little bit of a heavy guitar and good rhythm, I'm good to go.
I like technical shit. And the reason I like it is because half the time I can't play it. Being a drummer myself, if it's something I can't play, I usually like it. So.
You're like, I
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah. It's like, well, he's good. Last but not least.
Alright. As far as rock, I've always been exposed to rock. One of my favorite things growing up, actually, I still hold a grudge for, is my dad being gone on deployment. I used to watch this Yngwie Malmsteen live in Tokyo in 1985. You know, just grabbing someone's guitar, like my dad's guitar or something, not know how to play it, just watching these guys do it, you know, at that age, what you want to do. As far as like rock concerts, I was very spoiled, you know, like Ty over here. One of the first shows I remember seeing was Queensryche. Queensryche, still a huge influence to me, Operation Mindcrime for sure. As far as getting heavier, you gotta have Slipknot. Trivium's Ascendancy, but as far as just one of the harsher vocals, the album that got that for me was probably Soilworks Having the Drama. Once I heard that, it was a game changer. As far as what I listen to now, kind of very sporadic. I'll go from mostly bluegrass, where it's elements that can be applied to guitar, as well as even like Rashomon for LLC. They implemented different theory on the guitar. It's really just how you apply it, and take so much from every style out there. I'll listen to Imagine Dragons, and guys sing our asses off to that. Bands I really like right now, really liking this Novelists. Obviously, Meshuggah's new album is killer. You can say anything without the Contortionist. I love the new Contortionist. That's pretty much it.
Cool. So you guys got a little bit in depth with Inevitable Revolutions. So now I'm going to ask you guys, we're going back to my resource paper here. When you guys practice, not as a band, how do you go about that?
Everyone just kind of, you know, we just all kind of trusted each other as doing their thing to pull their weight, you know, off practice time. Like I play a few times a week. You know, I learn like other bands, you know, other band songs and stuff like that. Or sometimes I'll just try to run through our set by myself. You know, which sometimes it's difficult hearing everybody, but you know, we all just kind of trust each other to pull our weight outside of being together twice. We practice twice a week, so we're lucky there. I know a lot of bands have a hard time getting
Not,
together.
yeah, even cover bands don't do twice a week.
Right. It's a pretty strict regimen. I mean, we all know find a way to get here. You know, we know things happen sometimes, but we're all real good about it, man. That's something I think is pretty rare to find. Yeah, pretty lucky for that. So, but yeah, man, we just all kind of, like I said, we all trust each other to pull weight outside and love being together. You know, like me personally, like I said, I'm sure these guys do. You know, you run through your songs, you know, on your own. Kind of lately when we write a new song, we obviously, you know, we figure out what the tempo is. You know, I'll sit at home behind my kid, just bang away to that tempo, you know what I mean? Making sure everything's on.
Now, do you guys write? Probably not, because it can get a little too difficult. But do you guys write stuff down in sheet music? No, you just kind of go
Tabs for the most part.
tabs.
Yeah, they tab for each other and stuff. You know, if he writes a riff, like, oh, you know, drums and tabs, and then he tabs and get tabs.
Yeah.
You know, if he writes something, he'll tab it out for them.
I understand that sheet music's that's fucking hard shit to play and read, because that's what I'm struggling with this whole drumming stuff. So, but one of my new questions I asked the bands is, why do you guys play? Besides Chad saying earlier, because it's a release, and it might be just that, it's a release. But why do you guys play music?
Me, I just like to create stuff. Like, I mean, so, like, I've always been a fan of music, and I like playing shows and going out and do that stuff. I'm not saying that I don't, but I'm probably reversed from most people, because actually, like, when we're here with, like, a band and as a group, that's, like, my favorite time. Like, when we've definitely got to practice, we're going to work on new material and stuff, like, that to me is my favorite part about being in a band, like, you know, trying to create something with a group of guys that you couldn't do by yourself, you know,
I think we can all agree on that, like, just creating something original that you wrote, you know what I mean? And to see, and I'll go to the opposite of Ty, like, for me, I love writing something new, you know, that we haven't played out. And you go for the first time to play it out, and you see the bodies start moving around, and it's like, oh, we did that. You know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel good. Somebody is appreciating that something that you know, sweat over. That's one of my favorite things.
Brings it like more to life.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, when you guys see people out there bouncing around, singing along, moshing, that hardcore dancing is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. But when you see that, how does that make you guys feel when people just blatantly fucking go crazy over your songs?
You feed off it. Feed
Yeah.
right off of it. I know I do. You know, you definitely. Yeah, it's a real thing. You see that.
Absolutely.
So, again, that's my favorite.
I mean, we don't, when we write songs, it's not like, you know, we're trying to be like, oh, we gotta write something that everybody's gonna like, so we kind of just write songs, you know, like, all of our influences that we like, yeah, so then when other people are into that, it's like, oh, damn, cool, you know?
I think when I've gone to the very few metal shows I have, and I feel terrible saying that because I love and respect everybody, but I think what I've noticed a lot of people like is obviously the breakdowns, and when the drummer just kicks in that double pedal, high gear, and just fucking crashing away. I think people really dig that shit too, you know, and the guitars are just going fast and stuff like that. It's me, that might be just me. That's something I enjoy.
You play something that's got some bounce to it, like some groove.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when you start seeing the people, you start seeing their heads moving, and that's.
Yep.
I think groove does a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to tell you guys on YouTube here too. I walked in. You guys were actually rehearsing a new song. Am I correct? Is that what you guys?
Two new ones. Yep.
Two new ones. So, and there's some good shit coming from these guys. So my last question for you guys, as a band, Inevitable Revolutions, do you guys have any words of encouragement for other bands that are out there that are doing the same thing as you guys?
Bust your ass.
Never quit.
You get what you put in. If you want to bust out a thing and you want to make it work, bust your ass. You're not going to get anywhere.
Practice.
Practice a lot. You have to be practice twice a week. A lot of bands don't do that. It's hard, especially with 5 people. But
It's hard to get 5 people over at one time.
it pays off. It does. Busting your ass. I got 2 kids at home and 1 on the way, and I'm still here.
Oh really? Congratulations, man.
But I mean, busting your ass, really wanting to make it work. You know, I wanted to do this since I was a little kid, which I'm sure that obviously one of the fans reason was all dreamt of going on tour and meeting people, living life. You know, if you want to do that, you got to do that.
That's right. You gotta. Nobody gets anything by sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, watching porn.
Yeah.
So
You get what you put in.
that's right.
I would
That's
say
right.
to people that are starting, like, don't let the empty venues beat you down either. 'Cause that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all been in bands, and even this band, you play for a guy. You know, it's just like you've seen the memes online, like that we want to thank Robert for coming out tonight.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just play for that guy, but you
Yeah.
know what? If that guy never heard us before, and we play, and he's standing dead center, going bonkers over it, like who cares? Because you just went out, you played, and a person who's never seen you before, you just gained a fan. Like if you go play a show and gain a fan or two, man, that's
Well,
that's big.
what that guy is going to do, what Robert's going to do, is he's going to tell his friends.
Sure.
In your next show, their friends are going to come out with him, and eventually, that's just how shit happens. You know, I remember reading something on Godsmack, and Sully Erna is like, well, we played to somebody, and I think they actually wrote a song about it. It might have been 1,000 Horsepower, but he said one time they were playing to an empty room, and
Right. Yeah.
shit just changed, you know. And eventually they played to a packed room.
And the bigger,
So
better shows come too. Like,
Don't get discouraged. Yeah, take your sad saying.
absolutely,
It's easy to get discouraged.
yeah. Oh, it totally
you
is.
play the packed house and see the people going bonkers, dude, and just bouncing off each other, and that hot, sweaty feeling, like it makes it worth it. Like playing those empty rooms makes it worth when you finally, you know,
Makes
get
you
on the show.
appreciate it.
Totally.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
So now I know you guys have been playing a lot since you started. Tell us a little bit about, and I know there's been two that I've read of. Tell us a little bit about. I know that I said that was my last question, but what was there's been a couple, but you guys have opened with some bigger national acts. Why don't you guys go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
Oh man.
Whitechapel.
Whitechapel's probably the biggest one.
Bedford King is on that
Bedford
bill.
King.
On you.
Platinum, Enterpriser, Scottish.
Oh yeah. The Dying Arms.
Dying Arms.
We played with My Heart to Fear.
My Heart to Fear. The Lies
Support
Within.
them guys.
The Lies Within. That's about it. as
Yeah,
far
Lives,
as-
It Breathes was
Rivers of
another
Nile.
one that we had opened
Oh
for.
yeah, yep. What was that?
Rivers of Nile.
Rivers of Nile.
Rivers
Oh
of
yeah.
Nile. Enterpriser.
Yeah.
Played with a rapper, Kyle Lucas.
Yeah.
I just want to add to your last thing. Last question. Do it because you love it, not to be cool.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
to, like, just be that guy.
Yep.
Just do it because it's something you want to do.
Absolutely. And like I always say, yeah, like I always say before, if music's not fun,
Don't do it.
you're doing it wrong.
And that
You
goes
know?
with writing too, right? Write for you. You write for you, and you hope that other people grasp on. You don't write. It's like,
Please,
well,
like,
I'm gonna write
pour
this
out your-
because I know that these kids are gonna love this. Like, yeah, there's always that little bit of element. Like for us, like we kind of try to make sure that there's a breakdown here and there because the kids love breakdowns.
Yeah, like I
Like
said,
they
they
do.
love
They
the
just love
breakdown. Yep.
breakdowns. Like I like a lot more other, you know, elements of metal than breakdowns. And there's things I prefer to play the breakdowns, but that's something. I mean, the kids love breakdowns, so you throw them something they love. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you know, 90% of it is you write for you, write for what you want to hear, and you want what other people can. That's it.
Totally.
If they
So-
like it, great. You did it.
Awesome.
We have like played with some national bands like this year, but also like I want to say about the bands that like aren't national. I sure got to play with them. There's some, like in this area.
Yeah,
we're watching
there's
both years.
Okay, that actually makes me have another question. Favorite local band that you got? I'm sure the list probably goes on because that's what my brother said in their interview. Is everybody in this local area has got like tremendous respect for each other.
There's good
But
bands.
everybody has bands that they thoroughly enjoy, and like I said, you guys' list probably can go on and on. But why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your favorite local bands?
I think we can all agree on sports.
Support
Straight out of the gate,
yeah,
those guys
support
are-
her.
Rabbit Panda.
Did you hear that, guys?
Rabbit Panda is great. Just death band right in your face. Who's another one?
If you want brutality, get yourself some Rabbit Panda.
A band from New Jersey called The Artists.
Yeah.
Those guys,
They're
boy,
Yeah, they're
boy,
great.
man, are they good. Yeah, there's a lot of good bands around here, man.
For the Dead Travel Fast.
For the
those
Dead
guys
Travel
are-
Fast,
I think
yeah.
those guys are awesome. I mean, they got really good sounds, tight live.
Yeah, those guitars are nasty. Great drummer, good vocalist, all the way around. They're
I'm worried.
great.
Even though they dropped off the show there, but
Yeah. Good stuff, though. Yeah.
They're the why. I mean, it seems like any metal show we go to, there's a band we watch.
Who's that?
Makes you step your game up.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you feel like
Luca.
honored that you've shared
Yeah.
the stage with
Oh,
somebody that
Luca.
you're kind of in awe of.
Yeah, I would go out and check out Aluka.
Yeah.
ALUKAH. Great band.
My Ransom Soul, we just played
My
with them.
Ransom
Those
Soul.
guys are
Good
excellent.
stuff. My Heart the Fear. They're local.
Yeah. How about that? 570.
Yeah.
Silent off the street.
Solid off history.
Cool.
But yeah, if you're watching this from this area, there's a lot of good music right around here. I mean, bands have been, since we formed this band, we got back out there and been playing on this own label of bands we've been playing on.
Advent is said, but I think they're changing their name. So not great. They're another.
I didn't want to say it because I didn't know what the name
Yeah,
was.
it's another guy.
The Imperialist?
Those guys were good.
Yeah. So there's a big old list for you.
There's a huge list, and like I said, it can go on and on. So you guys heard it here. Inevitable Revolutions, a tongue twister name for me, but
INRB, baby.
there you go, INRB. Check them out. I'll toss a link up in the bio of the video. So Through the Eyes of the Unknown, and soon you guys are gonna know these guys.